Hey guys, I'm outside of Tudor GWC downtown here in Vancouver right now, about to attend an event. Today was the same day that they announced the new Tudor 1926 Luna, so hopefully I get to see them in person, and then as always, the Coke. I haven't seen that in person yet. Let's go check out what they have in stock. Heading straight to the wet bar, I got me some kind of cocktail with a Born to Dare stamp on the ice.
Born to Dare.
Oh, okay. Wow. Didn't really affect the ice how I think it's intended, but it's the effort that counts. I'm with my friend Keyboard Grinder today, a super talented pianist, slick in description, who pretty much had heat-seeking senses in finding the new 1926 Lunas. Prior to coming today, none of us knew about the new release. Tudor GWC didn't tell us anything. They had Jay Chow as the ambassador for this watch, which we were like, there's no way he shows up. And by the way, he didn't show up. In one of his typical cheeky promotional video styles though, if you guys seen the Black Bay Chrono video that he did with the magic trick, you'll know what I'm talking about. This guy is basically the Chinese Michael Jackson for us Asian folks from my generation to my parents. Here are the previous Tudor 1926s on display. Back when this line first launched in 2021, they didn't make much of a splash in the market. For those that did look, they were the affordable entry into the brand. But after the release of the Tudor Royals with a more recognizable case and bezel, it's pretty safe to say the 1926s were forgotten by most people. Well, here's the first of the three new Tudor 1926 Lunas that released today. Reference M91560-0002. It's got a sunburst blue dial very reminiscent of the boutique edition Black Bay Chrono Blue. Unlike the original 1926s, the Lunas no longer feature the honeycomb or waffle dial. All three of the initial releases in this new line of watches are in the 39mm case size, featuring a fully polished case on the standard 1926 bracelet. The case is incredibly thin, measuring it at only 10.1mm with 21mm lugs. For someone who's owned a Smiley Black Bay 36 in the past and currently wear an OP36, the size of the 39 isn't bad at all. The way the bracelet transitions into the case, coupled with the slimmer lugs, makes the watch wear a little smaller than the spec. I've also tried on the 1926 and 36mm before, and the silhouette of the watch just made it look too feminine, so I'm glad this is in 39. The main difference on the dial, aside from the sunburst and the obvious moonphase which we'll get to, is the seconds track. On the time and date only watches, the seconds is marked with a thin line, while here it's a series of arguably more refined dots. Here is the sunburst champagne version. Now, I really liked how this watch looked in person. Right away, I was surprised Tudor didn't choose to give this watch a two-tone bracelet, seeing that it's got a champagne dial. It would have been a very easy decision for them to make, I think, but I'm happy they kept it on the steel. At a glance, it might look just like another golden dial dress watch, something that's trying to be a Datejust. But after having it in hand for more than a couple seconds, this watch is something special. Notice how the indices, the date wheel, and the hands are all jet black. I've never seen this combination before on any of the Tudors or Rolex watches, or any brand for that matter. Usually with the champagne, it's paired with silver, white, or rose gold, some neutral colors. This pairing just gives it a completely different energy, like a darker, more sophisticated watch hiding amongst the line of happy, super legible, snowflake hand watches. The way the edges of the dial reaches the side of the rehaut reminds me a lot of the Timex Merlin in 34mm. Comparisons don't only go up on this channel. And don't get me wrong, the Merlin is a brilliant watch, but that's just the association I had when I held it in hand. And now the moonphase. Powered by the new T607-9 movement, which is a modified Sellita SW280 with 38 hours of power reserve, the execution is honestly gorgeous. When I think of entry-level moonphases, I mainly think of Mont Blanc being in that $2,000 to $4,000 price range. Honestly, the execution is just as nice, if not even more refined. I'll be honest, compared to the previous waffle dial on the time and date only 1926s, this entire Luna package is a big step in the right direction. I can definitely see this line taking over the Royals as Tudor's entry-level do-everything kind of watch lineup. Also, don't let its dressy appearance fool you, this watch has 100 meters of water resistance. While we were hunting down the last Luna, I ran into a gentleman with a Royal Oak. Too crazy of a watch to even remember what the reference number is, but I've got a wrist shot to commemorate the occasion.
Black gloves contrast with him.
And here it is on the black dial. In comparison to the blue and the champagne gold, the black doesn't immediately jump out as loudly as its peers, but often that's the watch that we all get, as it's difficult to get tired looking at it. It's got gold indices, gold moon phase, date, and hands. Also, on all three of these lunas, there's a very nice subtle brush patterning on the moon phase. Probably a machine, but beggars can't be choosers at this price point, and it's done really nicely. Now Tudor did something amazing here. They introduced black date discs for the lunas. This was something that was previously missing even on the black dials for the original 1926s, and I'm so glad they did it because imagine how this would look with a white disc. I ran into another guest with a Heritage Chrono home plate and took a wrist shot with him. This is such a cool watch, and even cooler now that it's discontinued. And here's the Tudor P01, an absolute oddity. I think this was initially designed for firefighters to wear over their thick jackets. The lugs are super elongated, making the watch difficult to fit onto most people who's not wearing it over clothing. The watch has a gimmick, which is this GMT bezel locked behind the mechanism connected to the 12 o'clock end link. You gotta push down the end link to activate the bezel, twist it, and then push down to deactivate it and lock it again. It's a really cool watch, and I think it might be something of a cult classic in the pretty distant future. Probably not anytime soon. On our way out, we were given gift bags. Let's go! Shout out to GWC, thank you so much for the invite and your generosity. It was such a great event and talking to so many Tudor collectors all in one evening. Now we're going to get to unboxing the gift bag that I brought back from Tudor GWC. By the way guys, I'm filming this a little late because I've been absolutely bedridden with a cough. I'm still coughing to this day. It's been like coming up 3 weeks actually. So if I cough during the video, my apologies, and I'm gonna try to cut some parts out if it gets bad enough. But without further ado, let's get into seeing what we took back from the 1926 Luna event. There's this red wrapping paper that they put in here for fancy purposes. And the first thing that we have, we got this Tudor outer bag with a, looks like a fanny pack. Excuse me. Looks like a fanny pack on the inside. You can see the Tudor logo in black. This is really cool actually. I much prefer this being black instead of white. Gives a little bit of like tactile look. Let's see if there's a strap. There's no strap. Is there a strap in here? There's no strap in here. So makeup bag, I don't really know. Maybe you gotta get like an aftermarket strap, but for the time being, I can't use it as a fanny pack, so can I put my, I can put my other Tudor swag in here. I can't put like my watch box in here, but like all the other stuff can probably fit in here. So maybe this is like an exclusive Tudor collector bag. Okay, let me just keep moving on to the next thing. That's pretty cool though. Looks to be pretty good quality. Next thing we got is a Tudor pen. Should be this way. Born to Dare, as you can see. Made in Switzerland. Wow. So this is a imported pen. You know, being in Canada, there's no tariffs on this, fortunately. Ta-da! Oh, this doesn't fall out. There's the box, really well packaged actually. And here is the pen. It says, what does this say? 849 Karan DH. DH? Karan DH. You guys in the comments, if you know what this means, please let me know. Karan DH with the Tudor Shield logo. And here is the ballpoint tip. That's really cool. This is gonna be, I don't know, it's probably gonna go into my pencil case for work, but this is awesome. This is wicked cool. And then the last thing that we have is another little Tudor pouch. This is a keychain. Ooh, I see a huge Tudor rose on the back. It is a keychain. Oh my god, there's 3 different crests. Yo, the one that I got from Buy My FXD only had a snowflake hand. Let me actually bring it in. I'll show you guys what it looks like. This is back during 2022. You only have a very short, chubby snowflake hand. This is probably like not even the hour hand. What kind of hand is this? I don't know, but it's a very short, chubby hand. It's completely stainless steel. There's no filling or enamel in it. Whereas now, in 2025, this has filling all the way through on both sides. You know, the market's tough, of course. Tudor need to come up with new tricks. And then you have this red Tudor shield. I don't know how this is applied. It seems like it's just entirely in red stainless steel. It doesn't look like there's paint or anything. That's really cool. And then lastly, you got this Tudor Rose. This one is just in completely stainless steel with black paint filled in. You know, compared to this, where even the shield on top in 2022 is just like a machined laser etched shield. Yeah, they really went all out with this year's keychain. I don't know if there's a new keychain every year. I don't know if I'm gonna put this on my actual key fob because I already have a lot of keys on my key fob, and so this is just gonna make it more heavy. Oh, cool. They even have Tudor etched on top of the main keychain. But yeah, that's everything that we have. We have the Tudor pen, we have the awesome keychain, and we have the makeup bag or fanny pack to be all three things. And then we also got a outer bag for the fanny pack, and then we got a little Tudor pouch for the fanny pack. Now quickly, just want to share some of my concluding thoughts on the 1926 Luna. Now that it's been almost like a week and a half now, I'm recording this on Sunday, I have some new thoughts about the watch. I mean, it is a gorgeous piece, but I realized while I was editing that I've only talked about the positives. Now, there's one glaring negative that I didn't mention. I mean, you really wouldn't expect otherwise. It's not like they're gonna put a Tudor T-Fit clasp on a dress watch that's entry level for 3,400 Canadian dollars. But the one negative is that there is no micro adjustment or any micro extension on the clasp. So if you're someone with very skinny wrists, you might find that it's difficult to find an exact fit for your size. You might have to move on to like a leather strap or I don't think a seatbelt grenado would really match the aesthetic given that the lugs is so shiny, but you'll probably have to find a solution other than the bracelet because each of the link is about 1 millimeters from what I recall. So you know what, just go to the store if you're interested in the watch, give it a try, see how it fits you. But aside from the fit of the watch, I think the only other thing that I would say could be a little bit better, but maybe not because, you know, it is what it is. It's entry-level watch, is that if you look at the 1926 Luna on the side, it's gonna look a little bit slab-sided, but the one caveat to this is that the dial actually helps in defining the shape and the character of the watch. Because the edges of the dial is slightly sloped down, or at least visually, it gives the case a little bit more curvature. But I'm glad they kind of took precautions in the design to mitigate this issue a little bit. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of the Tudor 1926 Luna. If you watched this video to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.